It all started a few centuries ago when a man named Isaac Newton supposedly watched an apple fall from a tree. Maybe that story's a little romanticised, but the thought that followed it certainly wasn't. Newton began to wonder not just why the apple fell, but whether the same force pulling the apple down could also explain why the moon continues to circle Earth and why Earth doesn't fly off into space away from the sun. Newton discovered that all objects with mass attract each other, and that the strength of that pull depends on how massive and how far apart the objects are. Whether it's a tiny grain of sand or a star 100 times the size of our sun, everything is pulling on everything else all the time. But then, in the early 1900s, Albert Einstein came along and turned the whole idea of gravity on its head, or rather, bent it. Einstein proposed something even more extraordinary. Instead, he said, what we think of as gravity is actually the result of mass curving space and time, or as he called it, spacetime. Try to imagine space not as an empty nothingness, but as something with structure, like a stretchy, flexible fabric. Placing something light on that fabric would barely make a dent, but drop something heavy, like a planet or a star on it, and it sinks in and creates a deep curve. The heavier the object, the deeper the dent. Now, what would happen if you roll a smaller object nearby? It naturally rolls toward that dent, not because it's being pulled, but because the surface itself is curved.